So good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. Big up to everybody who tuned into the watch along on the other channel for all the bugging out, all the mad antics that happened. Hopefully this stream is going to be fine. It seems fine straight away. Big up to everybody who's come in, smash the likes. Make sure you sub to JEZ'S channel, Arsenal History and More. Link in description with Kenny Ken 1972 Instagram page. Big up to Cole Rossi gifting out 5 memberships as well. Appreciate it, bro. Smash the like button. Sub to me. And Jez, how's your weekend been, mate?
Well, it was all good until I suddenly saw that you had visited Kenny's house and I wasn't invited. You know what I mean? What's been down, man? You know, you've got loads of Kenny's for lunch and I didn't get invited. I mean, no, it's all good, man. Yeah, mate, I was like with you this afternoon. I thought, oh my God, Paul, you know, this is the nightmare for the guy. Yeah, that was all good. Enjoyed the game, West Ham Chelsea, and I'll be honest, Chelsea looked absolutely crap. To be honest,
they did. Yeah, they did. They're devoid of ideas up front. Kenny, how are you, mate? How you been? How's your weekend been?
Well, weekend's been completely hectic. Like I said, I've been moving furniture, doing stuff. You know, like getting them. I think I'm under the thumb because all I was doing was just taking instructions: do this, do that, carry that, make sure that is clean, blah blah. But we did manage to find somewhere in Turnpike Lane where we had a nice little meal. You know, like a Greek place, a souffle place. I know you like a bit of souffle, and in Turnpike Lane, just not too far from Crack, just on the. Not too far from the shopping centre in Wood Green. It was beautiful food, so I'm really happy. But because I was kept extremely busy, I was able to watch some of the matches on my phone, and I cooked today, so that's about it. But you know what? Tomorrow is massive. Second round of games we've seen, and we've seen that teams are going to be very, very, very inconsistent. Not going to play their best football. You know, Man United were lucky last week, unlucky this week. West Ham and Chelsea was just a mess in terms of quality of football. In terms of like the West Ham down to 10 men, and they still managed to get the win 3-1. And Everton, Jesus, you know what? Someone needs to, put a pin in that balloon, mate, because I think they can like that. There's going to be no Merseyside derbies next season. Everton, we playing a Northwest derby against Blackburn. No games that's Man City, Man United, and certainly no Merseyside derby they carry like that.
I didn't watch the Aston Villa game, but see the scoreline, and it's not looking good for Everton. It's not looking good for Chelsea either. £1 billion spent in the last 12 months, and they've got Raheem Sterling running in straight lines and Mudryk running in straight lines. Absolutely nothing about them whatsoever. Horrible debut for Caicedo, giving away a penalty when he came on. He did literally nothing when he came on apart from give a pen away. And 10-man West Ham were fully deserved winners as well, in my opinion. Yeah, I thought they got stuck in and they showed a bit of fight, which is saying that most of that Chelsea squad didn't bother to do. So, yeah. Anyway, enough of them. 500 inside. Smash the like button up. 97 on the likes. Come on, that needs to hit 250. There's 500 in it now. Hit the likes. Sub to Jez. Follow Kenny on Insta. Links in description. But let's start with you, Jez. Obviously, we've seen everybody else's games. Brighton back-to-back whippings of the teams they've played. Man City got over the line with a great goal from Alvarez. Didn't look great, though. That game was very boring, I'll be honest. Man United, absolutely taken apart by Tottenham. And then the blue Man United today losing to West Ham. Liverpool got over the line in the end as well, after going 1-0 down. This is a must-win. And I say must-win because we actually hold the club accountable. So when people say it's a must-win and then we don't win, it don't matter, on to the next one. This is a must-win, though, isn't it? Because like Kenny just said, there's a lot of teams that are very inconsistent so far. If we can get a consistent run like we did last season at the beginning, that puts us in good stead going forward, doesn't it, mate?
Absolutely. I totally agree. It is an absolute must-win. We can't afford to lose, for sure. We can't afford to draw. We've got to go out there with intensity, unlike we did against Nottingham Forest. The thing that put us in good stead at the start of last season. We started hard and we started fast. And that put pressure on the opposition. And then we took advantage of that. And we went on a 9-game run, unbeaten, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Was it that? Or no? No.
Yeah, 9 wins out of the first 10.
Yeah. So we need to do that, because if we're going to stamp our authority all over this league, then we've got to do that again. And that is that's the teams, guys, that win leagues. You know, that's how you do it. Man City are always a slow start. We know that. Then they build that intensity, and then after Christmas they're just like relentless. So we have got to go to the Palace tomorrow and really push them hard. I think we'll win. I'm going 2-0. That's my personal view. And I would say this: if we start with Trossard, I think we will really cause some problems. We know he won't, because he'll start with Havertz, but I think that's a mistake. I don't want to see Partey at right back. That's nonsensical, right? We've got a decent right back in Ben White. Start him there. I'd like to see Tierney start, right? Because, well, we know we've got Timber out forever. Trossard, I want him to start. He came on last week. Didn't have enough time in my book, but caused issues and problems. So that's what we got to do. Kenny, you'll be there, so you'll know what's going down. And I'm sorry, that is a must-win game, no question, man.
Yeah, mate, I totally agree. I want to see Trossard start. I don't think. Listen, all this experimenting is all well and good. You do that in pre-season. That's what we got told pre-seasons for when I was moaning. Oh, it's to experiment. But then we go and experiment in the first Premier League game and made it a lot harder than it probably should have been.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace away, first and foremost, it's under the lights on a Monday night. It seems like we either play them on a Friday or a Monday. It seems like it's gone like that. We've probably only done it twice. But it feels like we've played them on a Friday or a Monday quite a lot. It's never an easy ground. Kenny's going to be there, obviously. We've all been there. It's not an easy ground. It's a very tight ground. Fans are right on top of the pitch, and they're going to make it loud. And we need to be up for a fight, because despite what they lack in quality, they will make up in work rate and physicality. And we have to be up for that. And especially after seeing some of the results go the way they have this weekend, he needs to get his tactics spot on. He needs to get his starting 11 spot on and his substitution spot on. Otherwise, we could be sat here on the fan cams at the end of the game going, well, disappointing draw today, very disappointing, or disappointing loss. Kenny, I know you're obviously very excited to be going down there, mate. What do you make of it all?
Well, I'm just excited. I do love a game which was Palace. I've seen every kind of emotion when we've been to that ground. You know, I've seen, draw a 2-2, and Xhaka actually scored a brilliant free kick. You know, we can never ever forget the game, which was probably one of the nails in Arsene Wenger's coffin. And it certainly finished Bellerin with the crowd. And I think Alex Sanchez finally realised that we had enough of him and the team, that 3-0. And then, let's not forget the game that ultimately started the slide 2 years ago and stopping us from getting into the top four. But the thing of what we need to do tomorrow is that pace is going to be key. Our two, left flank players, Saka and Martinelli, going to be extremely important. Especially like you got, Martinelli's going to probably going to face against Joel Ward, because I know Roy Hodgson goes for Joel Ward in that right back team, and then obviously Saka and getting Mitchell as well. Mitchell was he's been in contention for the national side, but he can be completely excellent, but sometimes get a bit slumbering. And then the conundrums: who do we play up front? Eddie's probably going to may play because he scored last week, but you can't forget the second half when he was really, really ineffective. And then if you pay £65 million for a player, you've got to fit him in somewhere. But I beseech Arteta, if he wants us to dominate the game and get our wingers into the game and start hitting on the break with pace, you can't play Havertz in that position, because you really, really need some domination. There's nothing wrong with Declan Rice playing in the Xhaka position, which I'm assuming he was bought for, because we know Declan can play as a number 6. which he's done really well for West Ham. But we've got a better number 6 in the team than Thomas Partey, as you said before, and yourself, Jez. We can't have a situation where Thomas Partey's playing at right back. We can't carry players, especially especially with Timber out. We can't carry Havertz, and to a certain extent, as well as Declan Rice played last week, we were carrying him because we sacrificed our best holding midfield, number 6, to accommodate him in a position, his preferable position that he played for West Ham. So, we've got to get that balance right. Crystal Palace on those flanks, that's where I think we can get them. But we're only going to be able to do that is if we have balance in the side. Benjamin right back, and then left back. He could play Kieran Tierney, because I think Kieran Tierney is capable of playing that. But the problem that Arteta won't tolerate is someone who doesn't keep the possession and doesn't start attacks from anywhere part of the field. Kieran Tierney is an old-fashioned defender that clears his lines. You can't do that, Arsenal. You can't. The only time you clear your lines is if it's an emergency situation. Even if someone's marking you, if you look at how Spain played, the Spain women played today in the World Cup, they had players around them, but they still move with the ball through 2-1 quick passes, 1-1-2, and then start attacks. That's how Arteta wants to play. That's what is going to kill Tierney. But then again, Tierney's better on the ball than Tomiyasu, but Tomiyasu is like horses for courses, man. So that left back position is going to be very, very interesting, because is Shevchenko ready? I don't know. If he's ready, he plays. If he's not, then it's a bit of a conundrum. But I only spoke about Kivior, and then unless there's something physically wrong with Gabriel, he has to play up at centre half alongside Saliba. Because if they don't, I'm going to get suspicious that someone else is going on. In terms of goal, sorry, Aaron, it's business. You don't buy a player that you've been chasing for 3 years and then say you want competition for your number one. No, mate. You're getting replaced, mate. And I'll be playing Raya in goal instead of Aaron Ramsdale, because of the fact that our manager is made up in my mind. I'm not doing this. It's not personal. If anyone's made it personal, you're our manager, as he's got the player he wants for 3 years. He's starting. If he doesn't, then he's bottled it. Then I say it not in a provocative way. It's that I'm going by the manager's preferences. If you like to try to protect, Ramsdale's environment as number one, then you're going against your principles by playing him instead of Raya. I'm sorry, but you're bottling the decision. I can't bottle it. If he thinks Raya is better than Ramsdale, then play him. Because by thinking he's better than Ramsdale, Arteta's putting the team first and how he wants to play and how he wants us to win matches and ultimately win the title. So for me, without any kind of hesitation, Aaron Ramsdale drops to the bench.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Jez? Are you down for that? Because we have signed a very good goalkeeper, a goalkeeper that we've got eyes. Yeah, we don't necessarily need to look at stats, but if our eyes are telling us yes, he's good, and then you look at the stats, and the stats are also telling you yes, he's actually good, and then you compare it to Ramsdale, and he's clear in every single attribute. There's no reason not to start him tomorrow, right?
Look, this is one of the biggest topics I'm going to talk about later on this evening. I do my Palace Arsenal match preview.
That reminds me, I need to put the link in to redirect everyone to you. Carry on, mate.
Fine, man. I've actually got a Palace fan coming on to talk about this. Now, yeah, I totally agree with what you just said there, Kenny. He wanted this goalkeeper, David Raya. I'd start him tomorrow night, and I was going to talk about it tonight because I think I'm not a great stats person. I won't go into that. What I see from my eyes tells me what I want to know. Okay, and I think he's class, and I think it's about time that Ramsdale got to kick up the arse and say, "Well, actually, in fact, mate, this guy's here, and we now want to actually push you on a little bit." Because I think personally, I like Ramsdale, I do, but I think he's got lazy. And I mean, against Nottingham Forest, there was a few very iffy moments in there, which I don't like. So I would start David Raya tomorrow night, all day long, all day long.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you both. Like, at the end of the day, it's time to get serious now. Yeah, this manager's faffed around, fannied around, whatever you want to call it, with certain players in this squad. But then other players that you think, oh, actually, you're decent, like Tierney, for example, just discarded. Yeah, somebody put a comment in a minute ago. Let me quickly find it. Somebody put a comment in a minute ago with all the left back or all the players that have played at left back over Tierney. I can't find it. It's gone. It's miles away. But it's literally embarrassing for Tierney. Yeah, and I'm shocked he's still here. But for me, I do think Arteta is starting to wise up a little bit. But having said that, if I see Kai Havertz drop another stinker tomorrow, you best believe that geezer better not start against Fulham. Yeah, because I don't care about all these little hipsters and the give him time merchants, and he was misunderstood at Chelsea merchants, all the level-headed football fans that chat bollocks. Yeah, don't say it as it is. Yeah, he's been crap for 2 games. Just say it. There's nothing wrong with saying it. Yeah, stop trying to shoehorn the conversation down a different road of, oh no, we'll give him time. We haven't got time. Yeah, this is the Premier League. We have not got time. Yeah, and if he drops another stinker tomorrow, he better not start against Fulham. But what I will say was when Eddie last season was dropping stinker after stinker, not scoring for 8-9 games in a row, eventually he did drop him. Eventually he put Trossard in. But again, that leads me to Trossard. Another one. Why is he not starting games? You're going to go up against teams that are going to do low blocks all day long against you. You need somebody with quick feet that's equally as good on both feet and has clinical finishing. That is not Eddie Nketiah. Eddie might be more physical, yeah, more of a box player. But for me, Trossard has to start this game tomorrow. Whether Havertz starts in midfield or not, Trossard has to be the striker. And then fair play, Eddie scored the other day. Sorry, mate, you dropped. Yeah, and that's what I mean about being ruthless. When you look at other managers, yeah, let's go like Pep, for example. Like, he didn't think nothing about dropping Mahrez, his top scorer for 2 years. As soon as Haaland rocks up, sitting him on the bench all season, now he's binned him. You know, and this is the difference. You have to make tough decisions. And for me, the goalkeeper, Raya, he has to go in that team. And if Ramsdale gets the ump with it, tough, mate. Yeah, you've had no pressure on you for 2 years. Nobody chasing you down saying, I'm nicking your spot. Yeah, and he ain't really lived up to the hype that he probably should have done. Yeah, because I say hype, nobody rated him. He's probably done better than we all expected him to do. But then when he reached a level, he never kicked on from that level. He just took the piss with it. Yeah, and it's kind of worrying that, you know, we've got a lot of our fan base that they have their favourites and their favourites can't ever be slated. Yeah, and we have a lot of fans as well that when we buy a new player, it's for the bench. No, I want players to come in and take the first team player's spot. Yeah, I want better players. Yeah, and that is how you get a healthy squad. But unfortunately, a lot of our fans are too emotionally invested in individual footballers rather than the good and great of our football club. But if we don't get a result, then listen, I think all 3 of us think we're getting a result tomorrow. You said 2-0, Jez. I'm saying 3-0. Yeah, what's your prediction, Kenny?
I just think it's going to be like a battle, because I think within Crystal Palace, as they fall in the category on their day, they're unplayable. Yeah. And, you know, against us as well, they've proved that. You know, even at the Emirates, they've given us like a handful. It's because they've got quality attacking players. They've got players with good technique. Yeah, you know, they are middle of the table side, but the thing about them, they play with no fear. But the thing about Crystal Palace, they're a mistake away from a home thrashing. But if they're, you know, what I call like tackle, attacking, you know, and defensive perfect or pitch perfect, then we're going to be in a hard game. Let's you know, like, be honest with ourselves and be accepting the fact that Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park is such an hard game, especially the dimensions of pitch, the fact that they're going to give everything. Their fans won't tolerate any sort of you know, white flag approach. It's going to be an hard game. But I think our pace and our counter-attack is going to probably be key, and that's why I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think, you know, performance-wise and scoreline-wise. So I can only go for a 2-1. You know, maybe we might be 95-minute Arsenal, which we've been you know, in the last couple of years. So who knows? You just never know. 1-1. Crystal Palace are setting for that point. We keep on going. Something silly happens, and either Martinelli or Saka win the score in the 95th or 97 minutes. It could be like the 103rd minute with the amount of injury time left now.
There's an easy way to you just brought up a very good point. There's a very easy way, because I see Pep Guardiola moaning that we're going to end up playing 43 games rather than 38 with all the added time on. Yeah, very easy way. Stop falling over like little babies every time you get touched, rolling around, milking it, taking 3 minutes to take a corner or a free kick. Like, pretty simple, isn't it? Because now they're going to add it on, and I'm all up for them adding it on. Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, you want to roll around and time waste and this and that. Tough. Yeah, they want to cry about the amount of games and all of that. I see Ten Hag crying about, oh, well, we had 9 games in pre-season. Mate, you chose the pre-season.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you?
Yeah.
And this is the thing as well. I've seen a lot of people. I want to ask you this, Jez, right? There's been a lot of injuries, and I know we spoke about this the other day on your channel, yeah? About the injuries. Them pitches in America were shocking. Yeah. They were not good, right? And there's been a lot of players that have been on US tour that have ended up getting injuries, big injuries, yeah? I'm not saying it's directly linked to their pitches, but their pitches are not great, right? But when I see these Arsenal fans sitting there going, oh, but it's because of this and it's because of this pitch and this and that pitch and oh, yeah, it's so mate, I want to get your opinion, because my opinion on this is, well, why don't you do a pre-season tour at home then at London Colney, half your team against half your team, and don't bother going and making a fortune in money? Yeah, because if you want to moan on one hand about injuries and pitches, yeah, but then you want to jump around for £105 million signing, you have to go and do these pre-season tours. Yeah, we're not dumb enough to sit here and go, oh no, we can't go on pre-season. You have to do it to get the revenue in to buy the better players. But then you can't use that as an excuse when your players get injured, right?
Well, that is an absolutely great point. I had a conversation with TJ Warren about this. I had to ask him, when we played at that grounds, it was the LA Rams or something. That pitch, they had to delay the start, didn't they? Because the pitch wasn't correct. Because TJ very kindly informed me of how the American football pitches are made, right? Or how they're grown and all that. I was like, okay, I never knew that. Fair play. Now, we know that we're always going to be doing pre-season in America because we've got American owners and they want to get that revenue from the American fans. And okay, I respect that. Fair play. The problem I see here, right, is if we are going to play over there, or apparently the pitches at London Colney are apparently hard. Kenny, you said you've been there.
Yeah, that's it.
Then I'm sorry, it's down to our physios to get the players up to that level that they can play on those pitches. Now, I actually question what is our medical team actually really all about. We talked about it last week. Jurien Timber. If we've got a first-class medical team, right, who says, yeah, I think it'll be all right, and the player, we always know the player is going to say, yeah, I'm okay, boss, I want to play, right? Arrogance is the problem, I think, at times, because I'm sorry, if I'm the boss, I'm saying, no, I'm subbing you, bro. I've got Gabriel, I've got Kivwar on the bench. So I'm not going to accept any of this bullshit, Lee, about these pitch things and all that. I'm sorry. We have some poor coaches in my book. And if the groundsman at London Colney can't get the pitches right, then sack them.
Exactly. Mate, do you know what I also think as well? I think because there's so much money involved in the game now, just finishing one position higher gets you another couple of million, or just getting into the Champions League gets you an extra 30, 40, 50, 60 million, depending on how far you go. Yeah. We're going to see a lot more of this. Plus the fact there's not been a break. Like there's a Euros at the end of this season. You know, we've seen World Cup, Euros, Nations League, internationals, game after game after game after game. And because the stakes are high, not just for winning, the stakes for winning, of course, they're high. But these clubs now know that if they finish in the top 6, top 7, top 10, or just stay in the Premier League, they're getting paid a lot of money. So now the manager's going to make you run that extra 20 meters. It's going to make you, I mean, I can't remember what it's called. Poch does this test where you have to run a certain amount of distance in 45 seconds. Then you have a 15-second rest. Then you run another 45 seconds. But he adds another 7 meters on, or 5.5 meters or so. And you have to keep doing it. Yeah. Trust me, it's no wonder they are getting injuries. Yeah, because he is making them go above and beyond what their bodies are physically capable of doing. Yeah, and it's the same for every club. It's not just him. I'm just singling him out because of that particular activity. But this is the problem. They're not robots, man. Playing 75 games a season is insane. Yeah, it's not like you're just having a kick about with your mates on the Sunday around the park. You're at high level here. Like, what do you make of it, Kenny?
Oh. Well, you know my views on the amount of games we play. You know, every year when it comes up to November right through to January, I've always campaigned, and I'm never going to stop campaigning. I've always asked for a Christmas break. I demand it, and the thing about it is the evidence is pointing a lot towards it. You know, we missed a trick last season after the World Cup by not having a mid-season break. We bottled it because the fact is that what the Premiership love more than anything else is they know that whilst all the other leagues in like in Europe, like Spain, Germany, France, you know, our competitors in terms of that overseas market, they know that they get all of the revenues and advertisers themselves because they're the only massive league around Europe to have games over Christmas. So it's a financial incentives. You know, your Optus Sports in Australia, you know, your NBC's USA, your beIN Sports, they all want Christmas. And most important, our fans like it. Our fans like to wake up first thing in the morning, either get in a car to go and go to the match, or back in the day if we were playing Tottenham, get on the buses or the tubes that were still running, or the armchair fan likes to get up with an hangover, probably eats like last night's turkey, probably might have a sarnie with it and watch their football. They like all that, but the fact is that we're seeing a lot of injuries, and let's not forget, since lockdown, I can't remember us having a break, and even now with the borders opening in terms of like the lockdown restrictions being lessened, teams can now go, since 2022, go away and make even more money on these tours when they're at the rest. And so the fact is that you need big squads because of the amount of games you play. Not only that, the fact is that TV stations, fans, they want transparency when it comes to injury time. They know that the referee isn't always giving us the maximum amount of injury time that we should be having in matches. So that's got police. So I can't give the players any sort of like reassurance that this is going to change, because simple reasons that demands are high. Fans want it. Yeah. I can say with the, and I don't mean to be like I said presumptuous, I think I'm probably the only one on this panel out of the three of us who want a mid-season break, and I respect it because I know, the fact is we like football over Christmas. I can live without it.
I know you can do without it. I love it, man.
I can live without it because
we're old men, yeah. So Christmas to me, it's only for the kids, isn't it? Yeah, but Christmas football, oh.
And I respect that, but the fact is, further down the line, I always thought that the reason why the national side struggle in tournaments because the amount of games they play. But right now, it's something bigger than that. It's injuries. More and more your favourite players are going to miss important matches, and even if you're a national fan, important tournaments. But the thing is, the genie's out of the bottle now. You can't stop. The fact that money is to be made out of matches. UEFA know that a lot of countries don't select their best teams, so they've now organised the League of Nations. And give them a trophy in the end of it, and sold TV rights to anyone all over Europe. So again, give it 10 or 15 years. The League of Nations is now going to be a major tournament where the best teams are going to select their best players. So again, there's no. If you're a footballer now, just be prepared to walk with a walking stick or retire early.
100%. Listen, Saka's going to be on that list very soon as well.
Can I sorry to interrupt you? I'm just going to say, Kenny, you know, back in the day, there was nothing better going to a Boxing Day game when you're hanging out your arse, because you very soon sobered
With
up.
turkey belly.
Yeah.
I watched something the other day on YouTube. Is this physio guy? He was saying about calf strain injuries now in professional athletes. He blames it upon the type of football boot, sprint shoe that people wear, because they're very, very soft. They don't give you the ankle support that old football boots used to do, because they haven't got the cushion effect. And he believes that is one of the biggest problems in footballers, is that the boots are now so soft that they get foot injuries, ankle and calf injuries, that is what causes issues. I mean, this guy was quite a leading physio coach. I don't know. Maybe there's something in that.
100%. Have you seen the size of their shin pads? Yeah, I had this conversation the other day. I think it was with Saeed. I may be wrong. Yeah, but back in the day, when you had the shin pads, they were shin pads that come all the way up your shin, and you had to put your foot through them, and they had the elastic, with the protection for your ankles. Yeah. Now they're like this big.
Waste of
like
time.
2 inches. That's it. It's like, and now players going in, and they're not metal studs anymore. I get that, but mate, if a player goes in with a bit of force, with them little rubber or plastic studs on them, like them blades or whatever they're called, it's going to do some damage. And you're right about the football boots. Like back in the day, they were thick leather football boots. Now that they weigh nothing. They weigh probably about 5, 6, 7 grams. That's it.
Hey guys, metatarsal injuries. How many metatarsal injuries have you seen since we stopped wearing those hard black boots? All of a sudden, every colour available: blue, red, pink, orange, and they're all soft, because the reason is that it's all about the texture. You know, like getting that kind of, that kind of swerve and texture on the ball. You know, that boot that the Predator boots that Craig Johnson kind of designed back in Australia, able to give the ball more swerve. So that's the whole situation. Boots are getting more softer. What's that?
The Predator boot. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Predator boots. That's right. Boots are getting more.
That was the first type of that style, wasn't it? The Adidas Predator, and then they've gone down that and they've honed it in. Now every company does them, and they're getting lighter and thinner, and it's literally just like putting a sock on.
Well, you know the thing about it, right, is that I don't want to sort of like play like devil's advocate on going like a doubting Thomas, but the fact is the evidence is out there. When we have overexertion of games, we're not careful, we're going to see a death on a football pitch. All right, we're going to see a death on a football pitch. All right, we got close, alarmingly close in the Euros with a player who I don't know how he's still playing football.
He shouldn't be playing. Let's be real with it. He shouldn't.
I don't know how he's doing
on that pitch. I watched the highlights here. When he's on that pitch, mate, he don't want to be there. Yeah, he's only there for the money. Yeah, and it's sad because
he's only 30. You're going to see a death on a football pitch. If you don't see a death on a football pitch, I'll tell you one thing in there. I've only got one word for you, one word. When people say footballers should be able to, cope with it, they're getting paid a lot. Well, look at Nizaro de Lima. If Nizaro de Lima didn't have those injuries before the 1998 World Cup, he would have smashed it and Brazil would have won the World Cup. If Nizaro de Lima wasn't playing all those games at the behest of Brazil and Nike, Nizaro de Lima, not Lionel Messi and not Cristiano Ronaldo, will be rivaling Pele and Maradona as the best player of all time. We've seen it twice. We saw a close death on a football pitch, and we saw a player's career ruined by the amount of games we've played, and yet we still want more games. Trust me, we're going to see a death on a football pitch. We've seen it before. where we've seen it before and we've got complacent. We're going to see a death. And it's only going to take something like that to a major player in a major league, broadcast live around Europe, for us to take heed about what's happened. Again, yeah, Fabrice Mwamba. We have never taken heed. It's because of our demands and the sponsor demands for more and more football. It's going to happen. Doesn't matter how fit you are. The fact is, you're putting your bodies, especially your hearts, under a lot of strain to keep fitter and to be better than the next man. I'm telling you now. Look at Aguero as well, and even, God forbid, Poeta, and or Yake, who played for who's friends with Iniesta, who played for Espanyol in a pre-season game in Italy before the World Cup in 2010. We never learn.
No, 100%. And listen, big up to everybody inside, man. 710 in the building. Smash the like button up. We're not even on 300 yet. So come on, let's get that done. Let me read the super chat out real quick as well. Big up Eli, the Book Reaper. What do you all think about giving Nawari a chance, since Arsenal seems to be cutting corners and not getting Saka adequate backup? Well, listen, he's there. Why not give him a chance? Yeah, I'd rather us go out and actually buy somebody that's ready-made right now. Yeah, maybe loan the boy out. He's, 16, 17? Yeah, go and loan him out. Go and get somebody that's adequate, ready and waiting now. But we ain't going to do that. We've got Reece Nelson there. Yeah, this guy played maybe 1 or 2 games this season. That'll be about it. Because, again, it comes back to the stakes being too high, the money being too much. Arteta can't afford to play him. Can't afford to play him. Yeah, unless it's a massive injury problem and if down to the bare bones, then he has to put him in. But
is that against Brentford?
Yeah, he did that. That was such a PR move. It was crazy, just to piss Ivan Toney off. Yeah, that's all it was. Oh, nice kickabout with the boys. It's the only reason. And we've never seen him again. We see him in pre-season, I think. Yeah, in America. Yeah, other than that, we ain't seen him again. Yeah, he's been in a few squads. But that leads me on nicely, actually. Big up for the donation, mate. Appreciate it. That leads me on nicely, actually, because the transfer window shuts in 11 days, Jez. And we still have Sambi Lokonga, Nuno Tavares. We're an Arsenal family. It's such a nice culture at the club. But Nicola Pepe is training on his own, well away from the squad. But we're a family. He's still here. We've still got Cedric Suarez here. We've still got many other players that shouldn't be here. Why have we not got rid of anyone, really? I know we've got rid of Austin Trusty, Turner, Xhaka. Yeah, we've got rid of a few, but not the ones that we can get good money for. Why are they still here?
I have to say this. I just think it's poor business with the board, Edu. I think they're quite happy to spend big, as we have done. We can't deny that. 105 million for Declan Rice, 65 million for a Chelsea reject again, and I just don't think we have the negotiation team. I said this last year. I said this time last year. We do not have the negotiation skills to get players out of the team that teams like Chelsea do. Yeah, Chelsea don't lose that much money. They lost 2 million when we bought Kai Havertz, right? So I think it's something rotten in the core. Well, we know there's something rotten in the core at Arsenal. We know that. We're a rotten bloody apple. But the fact remains, if teams come in for a player, right, don't be greedy. If we want them out, to say, well, you've offered 10 million for Tavares, we want 12, and let's meet in the middle. We'll take 11. Yeah, simple business. But no, we sit there because a team will come in and say, "I will offer you 5." Oh, well, we want 12. They'll come back and say, "Oh, we'll offer you 8." No, we want 12. It's down to negotiation, for God's sake. And in this modern world of football, there's all kinds of add-ons you can have. That if you sell him for 10 million, then you have a sell-on clause or whatever it is, how it works. We just don't seem to have that ability. And I blame the board, and I blame Edu as our technical director, football technical director, and the fact that we hang on to players for way too long. Why is Rob Holding still here? Why?
Hey, mate, we're one Saliba injury away from him back in the team.
Well, we've got Kiwar now. We've got Kiwar who can step in there. We did have Jurian Timber, but he's out. He's gone. He's been sniped. So at the end of the day, I'm sorry, man. It's all down to the fact that we have shit management that can't negotiate. Chelsea have brilliant at it, right? Manchester City are decent at it, and I'm sorry. I mean, this Balogun thing, right? What I mean, I understand he wants out. He wants to go because he knows he's probably got no future at Arsenal, and I can't blame him for that. I can't blame him. So if he wants to go, sell him.
But it's a good comment as well. Why is El Neni still here? Because we're the Arsenal family, Keith. Yeah, we got to give him a coaching role. But the family are kicking Pepe out, and he has to train on his own. But we're a family.
Is a Balogun training his own as well? I think.
Yeah, they're both training on their own, separate from the squad. But Pepe, I think, was training in a fucking playground the other day. Yeah, literally nowhere near the squad, mate. I don't even think he's at Colney.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You know, that again, the managers like your Peps and Klopp to a certain extent, definitely Arteta. It's all about, I don't even know what planet some of these managers are on. They expect you to smile and be a good team man when you and not rock the boat when you desperately want to play, and you're not getting a sniff in the side. What do you want them to do? Start organise them sing-alongs and card tricks or anything. You know what I mean? Or do a Mitchell Marsh and be a good team man, and let's go and walk and have a coffee together. They want to play. So, but the fact is that because these managers can't deal with confrontation, off you go, try on your own. The fact is that you sell them and you take whatever price you can get. Yes, I understand the business side of things, but the fact is that you can't have it both ways. You can't say that we need X amount of pounds because we want to sort of we're not happy with spending 230 million. We need to spend probably another 100 million, but we need to get rid of these players. Well, get rid of them then. Get rid of them. The fact is that Balogun hasn't hardly kicked a ball in angle for us in major games as an Arsenal shirt. So
last time he played for Arsenal in a competitive game, I think it was Dundalk.
Exactly. So and he's good. You're just selling off. You're selling off his. Yeah, but you're selling off his potential. That's the thing. The fact is that I can see what you're trying to do because you know that you want to get as much money as you can because if the lad declared for England, you'll probably be able to get even more money, and that's the situation. But again, Runnison,
I didn't even know he was still here until I see.
Someone raised the alarm and told me what's happened that he's going to the club. But
I didn't even know he was still here. We bought this guy for £1 million, and we are loaning him out again.
Because no one's going to be. Yeah, but Lee, no one wants can afford their wages, and that's the thing. Your Nennies, your Holdings get really handsomely played by this football club, which means we're in the situation that we were with Almunia, the same with Abue. Clubs just can't afford to take them on because
surely, like real talk. Sorry to cut you off, mate. Yeah. Surely that guy can't be on much more than 5-6 grand a week.
Who's that?
Runnison. He can't be on more than 5 grand a week.
Yeah, all right. He might be. He might not be.
So why can't we get? We paid £1 million for him. We've loaned him out 2 years in a row. Well, I think he was in Turkey or Greece or somewhere last year. Yeah. Right? He's now being loaned to. Why don't we just say we ripped up Socrates. We ripped up Socrates' contract. We've ripped up Kolasinac, Mustafi, ripped up Ozil, Aubameyang, all these contracts.
Yeah, but at a price,
loaning this guy out.
Officially, you rip up the contracts, but they're not going to.
Apparently, he's on 35 grand. I'm done.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that'd be about right though. That'd be about right because the fact is that these players who clubs are going are that are coming in for them, allegedly. Well, these Arsenal players, your Holdings, your Runnelsons, your Pepes, they're earning probably double what the highest paid player at the respective clubs are earning. So again, it's a situation where Arsenal do pay them off. You say rip up the contracts, but it's a payoff, and that's the thing. When you get these players at the football club, you've got to do your homework better. You really got to do your homework, because you're getting players who just occupying space. Rob Holding, he's probably going to go down as probably the most luckiest players to wear an Arsenal shirt. The fact that in 2 cup finals he played against Chelsea, he's got winners' medals, and he's actually been off useful. But over his career at Arsenal, he's what I call Mitchell Marsh. From that, every time I see Rob Holding, I'm just going to say, "Hi, Mitch," because he reminds me of Mitchell Marsh before he scored his century against England at Headingley, as a good team man who, do you want to go for a coffee? Yeah, I'll be all right. Don't worry, I don't want to play, but I've got to be a nice guy.
Yeah, cheerleader.
A good team man. And
he's good around the dressing room. Yeah, what's he do? Does he do card tricks?
Exactly. Or sing-alongs. And then he's another one. What I call another Mitchell Marsh.
Cole Jenkinson was the same. Do you know what was bad with Cole Jenkinson?
Mitchell Marsh.
That guy always had an injury when the transfer window opened. Oh, I'm injured. Yeah, he stayed. He was our longest serving player at one point, I think.
He's been a dream minute. Arsenal fan playing for the club, never good enough. Probably couldn't believe his luck when Arsene Wenger went offered Charlton life-changing money to bring him over. We all knew from day dot he was
I've met him before. He's a right fucking idiot. Yeah, he was driving around in some pimped up Range Rover that was like, can't even remember the name of the Range Rover. You get the Range Rover Sport, and it's like a pimped up one. Yeah, it was like 160 grand's worth of Range Rover. He couldn't get in the team.
Hey, we got juniors at our club who can afford to buy their mum and dad's not one house, 2 houses. They could buy an house for their mum and dad, their sister.
Mate, I need to have a boy. I need to have a baby boy, man. Like with this Saudi money coming in, my boy needs to play in Saudi. I swear. I don't want no more kids, but I'll fully have one if he's going to be a baller.
Come on. Just the thing, guys. The days of apprentices cleaning the boots are long gone, mate.
Right, it's crazy. It is actually insane. Yeah, big up to everyone inside as well. 720 inside. Make sure you sub to JEZ'S channel. Link in description. JEZ'S is going live in 15 minutes. It'll redirect you straight there. Still not got 300 likes yet. You lot are moving crazy. You're moving like El Nini in midfield.
Maybe they're just happy to be there, but they just don't contribute.
Yeah, that was the Range Rover as well. Yeah, it had the car. Yeah, it was that. Yeah, and he was driving like an absolute prat. Him and Oxlade-Chamberlain racing each other.
Overfinch, aren't they? Are they called Overfinch?
Yeah, there's an Overfinch as well, but he had that one. He had Overfinch. Yeah, it weren't an SVR. That's a newer one, but yeah, it was the older one. Yeah, this is years ago, like 2010, 11. Yeah, and him and Oxlade-Chamberlain were doing about 140 mile an hour down this country lane. Crazy. Overtaking each other on blind bends and that. Mad. Yeah, but you're right. Too much, too quick, man. How can we have Runnison on 35 grand? And somebody put in the chat, 35 grand's not a lot, yeah? In terms of modern day football wages, it's not. But when it's a player that no one's ever heard of, that has never played a game apart from one for Arsenal, one game for our club, that's all he's played, and he looked iffy, right? And then you go to Cardiff's top earner is probably not on 35 grand. So why would he take a pay cut? Which is why we have to. And if I'm him, I'm doing exactly the same. I'm saying, bollocks, I ain't going anywhere. You'll have to loan me, mate, because I want that money. Yeah, you signed me. Cool. I'm taking the money. Yeah, so listen, when people sit there and say, oh, yeah, this player, dead wood, you have to understand who signed the players in the first place and who put them on the top dollar in the first place. Yeah, so when you give all this praise and adulation to the person who signed them, for results and stuff like that, even though he ain't won nothing for 3 years, you also have to realise he signed players like Cedric Suarez on 90 grand a week when he was injured on loan and then gave him a 4-year deal whilst he was injured. Yeah, Runnison, 35. El Neni's probably on about 50. When was the last time he played a game for Arsenal? 50 grand a week. Easiest job, easiest gig in the world.
The mantra for players like you just mentioned is a case of... like it's the trivia question or like the coach's question. How many players have to be injured for these guys to get a game? We're talking probably we're probably talking double figures for these players to get a game. But the fact is, it's the whole Mitchell Marsh conundrum, and I think managers like that. They like that. You have to look at Wembley 2 weeks ago. You know, all the players were in their red and white. The players in the start were all in black tracksuits. One of them was El Neni. Rob Holding managed to get himself a kit. You know, he managed to go up there and get a medal for winning the Community Shield. But that's the thing, managers like your Peps. You know,
but that's because he's good from the dressing room. He's the cheerleader. Exactly. So Arteta's always going to look after him.
But that's the thing. You know, modern managers like that don't like confrontation. So so the players who are visibly distressed and not playing, all knock on the door, and won't leave until they get a definite answer. They're the ones who train around, because that's the thing. Modern managers are megalomaniacs. They can't take criticism, and they like to have a happy camp, and they like to be they're dictators. You know, Spurs, despite what you say about Postecoglou being this nice, good Aussie guy, every time you hear him speak, you could tell that this guy, it's my way or the highway.
Bro, he's Australian.
Listen to what he said. Listen to his interviews of Postecoglou. Oh, it was my way of playing. The players have got to do what I want, and I think this is where I think it's got to be.
I watched an interview of him when he was Australia's coach, and it was on Australian TV. Yeah, it popped up on YouTube a couple of weeks back when he got the job. Yeah, and he was going in because they were really sticking it on him. And he was like, yeah, but you said this and this and this about that. And listen, if you can do better, why don't you come and have a go? Yeah, and this is what I rate about the Dutch and the Australians. They do not give a shit. Yeah, exactly. They say it as it is. And if it hurts your feelings, that's your problem.
Yeah. But
he'll do well. He'll do well at Tottenham. He won't win anything because it's Tottenham and they always bottle stuff. Yeah, but so far so good for them. Yeah, and they've got a good style of play. He'll walk out of play inside a couple of weeks. It's mad, isn't it?
I think he'll walk out before they sack him, because the way
he'll probably end up in Chelsea when Poch gets sacked.
Yeah, but you know the situation is he's in the results business. He's Aussies. Aussies are like Americans, that winning is all they care about. Americans have got all these resources, massive population, a massive country. Australia have got a small population, but a massive country. Yet, in most of the disciplines, every sporting discipline, they've been world champions in it, or they're current world champions in it. For a small population, that's mentality. And I know it probably annoys someone on Twitter, but I'm going to use it because I can. Mentality monsters. There, you don't like it. I don't care.
And on that bombshell, we are going to wrap this up, people. It's been a great stream. We are back again tomorrow. Watch along. I've got loads of stuff coming up this week. Like, I'm doing a Saudi, my boy Mahrez, joint top of the league, my Saudi team.
Hey, a friend of mine and a good friend of yours has sent me a WhatsApp to say that he can get you Mahrez's shirt if you want it, because he says he knows someone who knows someone.
All day long. All day long, Kenny. All day long. You know,
I just thought I'd tell you.
Yeah. We'll talk offline. Yeah, 100%. That's on. Yeah, that's on. And if he can get me the Saudi money as well, that'd be great. Yeah, because I'm fully doing Mahrez watching.
No, I think he probably thinks you're doing too well for yourself. I think you could have to settle for a shirt.
Definitely, I'm up for the Mahrez shirt all day long. But listen, we are back again tomorrow. I'm on with Saeed at midday UK time. He's in meltdown. Yeah, he's talking about Chuckle Brothers ball. To me, to you, hot potato and all of this. Yeah, that show is going to be elite tomorrow, midday. I'm also on with Henry Wright, I think at 6:30, because I'm going live an hour before kickoff of the game. Obviously, watch along fan cams, player ratings. Kenny's going to be at the game. Both of you guys are going to do fan cams as well. But yeah, what you got coming up, Jez? I know you're going live in about 8 minutes, mate, but what else you got coming up?
Going live in a little bit, match preview. Wednesday night, 6 p.m. I've got you and Kenny on to do the weekly podcast chat. And then I'm going to be coming up with some other stuff, because I want to try and stream every couple of days now. Now I've got the magical 4K. I'm going to try and do something. But looking forward to tomorrow. for the game.
No, there you go. Kenny, make sure you sub to JEZ'S channel, link in the description. Also, when I end this stream, it's direct you straight to his stream. Kenny, what you got coming up, mate?
Well, obviously, I'm going to be at Sales Perk tomorrow, and then on Wednesday, I'm going to be with you guys. But my family, all of them are going on holiday. It's a family holiday that I haven't been invited to. But I've got a very special job. That's to look after Theo, my crossbreed Yorkie poo. So I've got him.
Was that named after Theo Walcott by any chance?
Believe it or not, I think it is. Theo, you know, if I had a boy, I was going to call him Theo, but I've got daughters. So, yeah, his name's Theo. He's a Yorkie poo. By the way, he bites me, but no one else. But, yeah, so I've got him. So I'm going to get someone to look after him whilst I'm at the match on Saturday. But apart from that, I'm not allowed to leave my position until they're back from holiday. And they're going to check up on me as well, so because they're going to have dog cam on to make sure that he's going for his little walks.
Not cane cam, then, no dog cam.
I don't know. I don't know. When I was a kid, I was scared of dogs. So how I've got a dog is unbelievable. I was genuinely frightened of dogs as a kid.
Kenny, I would have come and looked after your dog, but you didn't invite me for dinner today, so not happening.
Actually, no, I was cooking then. You weren't
in my stream. So in my stream, it was bugging out, right? Yeah. And I ended up putting your background on. I was like, yeah, big up Kenny. He's invited me for Sunday roast. And it was your background.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, right? But Jez, unless you can put up with jollof rice with Scotch bonnet, mate, you can come anytime you want.
Scotch bonnet all day long. That's a bit
sorry,
of me,
Jez,
mate.
right? But it's good. The chicken's gonna be really seasoned. There's going to be gravy, which you may like, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to compromise on the Scotch bonnet, mate. So you can come round when you like.
Right, Scotch bonnet all day long.
I make pickled onions at Christmas, right? I'm famous for it. And I make with the Carolina Reaper.
That's a bit of me as well.
Oh,
hey, I had this chicken, yeah, and I had the powder, the Carolina Reaper powder, yeah, and I seasoned this chicken. It's in lockdown, right? Seasoned the chicken with the Carolina Reaper seasoning. That's me all day long. The spicier, the better, mate. I want to sweat. I want to drip everywhere. Actually, yeah, let's end on that. That sounded wrong. But yeah, listen, Jez is live in 5 minutes. Is going to redirect you straight there. Go and show some love. I'll be back again tomorrow, Saeed in the mud. And it's been a good show. Big up to everyone in the chat, everyone who's donated, commented, gifting subs or memberships or whatever. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'm done for the day. I'm going to go and watch Atletico Madrid. They're going to kick off in 20 minutes? Barcelona are currently still 0-0 with Cadiz. Jesus Christ. I told you, yeah? My ball knowledge. Xavi is getting sacked. 12 minutes to go. They're 0-0 at home to Cadiz. But Don Simeone,
he has a French connection. The group stage of the Champions League, yeah. He'll get sacked after that. But you know he's got a French connection, that, isn't it? And they're
in Europa. September.
Yeah, it'll be December, innit? And they'll be in the Europa League again, innit?
Oh, mate, they might not even make it out the group at all. Like, they might finish bottom. No, they're shit, mate. Honestly, they are dog shit. Anyway, I'll be doing a watch along, not for that game, but I'll be doing a watch along for Arsenal Palace tomorrow. We're out of here, people. Go and show Jez some love. He's live in 4 minutes. Adios, amigos. Ciao.